misery, but no, there's no but. John, there's no but. That's their reason. But there's no but, John.
What Tom was saying.
John, there's no but. That's the religion. They're entitled to it. This country.
If you're going to nitpick every.
John, listen to me. John.
We are going to this world.
Hey, John. When you read your Constitution, you will find that religious freedom is paramount in this country, and the Supreme Court has backed up these people's right not to have to salute the flag. The Supreme Court has backed up people's right to burn the flag, John.
Oh, God bless them if they do that.
Well, I think you should do some homework, John. Go some studying, learn something, read something, understand what your Constitution's about, and then you can come and criticize it.
That's a great idea. Because
Thank you, John.
You have a PhD in yourself.
Thanks, John. All righty. 437-0630. And Randall's in the car on WPRO. Hi, Randall.
Hi. My question is in regards to, the discrimination factor is that, most certainly don't think that people should act out against your Muslims and your people that are everyday citizens.
But
because then you become just as bad as the terrorists.
Right. But
I do agree with that.
But
a part where I kind of question is that with my very limited exposure that I have to to the news media and from what I hear and from what I understand is that there's very few other I don't want to say religions or nationalities, but the people that usually hijack airplanes are from the Middle East. Is that? I don't know. What I hear.
Okay.
How many flights every day?
Okay. So, and what's your point?
And so I think with airport security, that they need to take. Yes, I think that they should take a second look.
So you're in favor of all kinds of profiling. You're in favor that somebody should be scrutinized in this world because they happen to be of a certain ethnic or a certain look. That's okay with you in America. That's okay with you now. I want to be clear on this, Randall. It's okay with you that American citizens, law-abiding American citizens who have bought a ticket to get on an airplane just like you have, they're going to go to Sheboygan to see their grandmother.
Yep.
They should be stopped more than you should be stopped because they look like you-know-what.
No, that's not what I said.
That's exactly what you've just said. You don't realize that's what you've said, but that's what you've said. Now, is that what you meant?
Not exactly.
See, no. It's either exactly or it isn't. No. It either is what you meant or it isn't what you meant. Now, you hear what you listen to yourself.
Okay, then it's not what I meant, and let me explain what I did.
Okay, go ahead. What did you mean?
It is because you are very close to what I meant.
Yes, I know.
What I'm saying is that if you're looking for somebody who is going to hijack an airplane. Okay, and you were the security guard getting paid the minimum wage that they're paying them, which is a whole other issue. And you were saying, okay, if you had to determine, okay, who
Randall, Randall, listen to yourself. Randall, listen to yourself. Listen to yourself.
I am.
Listen hard to yourself.
I'm not saying that you have to sit there and bring them into a room.
Listen to yourself, Randall. Listen to yourself, Randall. Listen to yourself. And let me ask you this question.
You'd be looking at the nuns.
And let me ask you.
Looking at the kids running down the street.
And let me ask you this question, Randall. Okay.
Sure.
All right. I'm going to put you in charge of security for federal buildings. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you're in charge. Okay.
Yep.
All right. And you're going to check and make sure that certain people that come in will be checked based on what you just said, okay? Okay?
Certain people or everybody?
No, certain people. You're the one that said certain people should be looked at over other people because of their backgrounds and because of the way they look.
I didn't say that you don't look at the other people.
No, but you said, but the likelihood, right? Okay. So Timothy McVeigh would walk right by your stand, wouldn't he?
Oh, Timothy McVeigh's an idiot.
Well, you're not sounding too much different, Randall, at the moment.
He would go through the same screening process.
No, he wouldn't, because you'd pull the guy that works at the Cumberland Farms aside. You would let Timothy McVeigh go.
All right, how many?
Hey, Randall, your premise is faulty. Try to understand what I'm telling you. Okay, your premise is faulty. You're presuming that a certain ethnic background, a certain club, people who like to ride motorcycles, somebody with a tattoo, whatever that generality is, it's faulty, Randall. I'm sorry, it's faulty.
It's not. You're wrong, my friend.
Okay, well, you go get the numbers and call me back. You go get the numbers and call me back, Randall. Get the numbers and call me back. All right, thanks. Chris is in a car at WPRO. Hi, Chris.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Well, I just want to talk about this craziness about the trying to get the racial profiling with the Arabs.
Yeah.
And well, we did this experiment during World War II.
That's exactly right. We put all of the Japanese Americans on the West Coast in internment camps.
Well, I mean, even more than that, what we had was Japanese Americans we had fighting for the United States against Japan.
Yeah.
We had German Americans fighting against Germany.
That's
and Italian Americans fighting in Italy.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
There's no reason to assume that Arab Americans are going to be any less loyal to the United States than anybody else.
Well, of course not. And you know what? One of the things that keeps getting missed here, Chris, is that, do you know how many Muslims were working at the World Trade Center when this happened?
Yeah, I think there was like a few hundred of them.
Yes, and the idiocy and these people trying to justify their fear and trying to justify, I mean, this is really, it just gets sillier and sillier. And the longer they talk, the dumber they sound. It's astounding to me.
It is, and the idea that we're going to start registering anybody at the...
Well, you know, as soon as we do that, Chris, then those people who took down the buildings win.
Well, exactly.
They win. It's over. They win.
Personally, I'm very offended by that, and I would, I don't know.
I know. Well, that's it. You're offended by it. I'm offended by it. That's it. There it is. People just don't get it. They don't understand it. They don't understand how frightened they are. They don't understand how they're looking, for boogeymen here now. And anybody that looks like that must be it. Idiocy. And what happened to be an American citizen? What happened to their rights? We don't care, do we? We don't care about their rights, Chris, do we?
I'm just hoping this is just people just like freaking out after something.
Sure it is.
Something bad happened.
Of course it is. Unfortunately, it has a tendency to overdo itself and to live on its own stuff.
I hope this kind of thing dies out. Now the people want to say, like the president himself said, along the lines of, this is not going to bring us to our knees. Well, does he even need to say that? I mean, well, again, back to World War II. This is the country where we're fighting entire countries.
Yes.
This isn't like a couple hundred guys hiding in the mountains. Mm-hmm. We're fighting Japan. They were no less fanatical than...
No, they weren't. That's right. Yep.
While we were fighting off the Germans at the same time. Mm-hmm. So I think it doesn't even need to be said that this is not going to bring us to our knees.
Well, a certain rhetoric is important. We need to know that our leaders are ready to do battle and to avenge our problem. I really can't fault George Bush, and I must tell you, the more I see of what's going on here, it's kind of odd when you look at this Florida election. If it had gone the other way, I don't think necessarily that Mr. Gore would have had the same kind of experience in that office. I'm talking about his advisors now. He would have had a different set of advisors. Most of the advisors in there now have either worked for the father, George Sr., and they have knowledge of the Middle East. They have knowledge of other things. I really think that we lucked out on this one.
Oh, yeah, I think he's doing a fine job.
Yeah. All right, let me hold you there. Got a last word?
No, that's it. Just thank you for letting me talk.
All right, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye.
437-0630, 1-800-321-WPRO. Ann is in a car on WPRO. Hi, Ann.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
I just want to say I'm married to an Arabic man.
Yes.
And he has given blood for these people that have gotten hurt in New York.
Yeah.
And he's feeling just as the same as every other American feels. He loves his flag. He works hard in America, and this is really hard for him.
Of course it is.
We have children. We're worried about them. I'm not Arabic, but I'm Italian.
Yeah.
And it's not fair what they're doing. Like the guy that was on.
Well, wait a minute now. You're Italian? I think we should be punishing you for Mussolini.
And I'm to an Arabic.
I think we should punish you for Mussolini then. Right? Ann? Oh, we lost Ann. I did a joke and we lost Ann. I'm sorry, Ann. Call back if you want, okay? I guess we lost you. She was on a cell phone. I apologize. Jim is on a cell phone on WPRO. Hi, Jim.
Yeah, how you doing tonight?
Yeah, good.
I just agree with your position on the racial profiling in there, because if the flight attendants had taken a little more time, that they might have prevented the 4 bombings. That's the simple fact.
I doubt it. I absolutely doubt it. That's never going to happen. That would never have happened. That's silly to blame the flight attendants. How are they going to stop it?
Not the flight attendants, the airport check-in, the security guards there.
Yeah. Well, you don't think...
None of them speak English.
Well, let me ask you this. Who doesn't speak English?
Any of the people in the security.
Oh, really? Oh, really? When's the last time you ran into that?
About 2 months ago when I was on a U.S. air flight and they wanted to check my bag to do a powder trace for a bomb on it.
And
guess what? You know the funny thing about it?
Yeah.
Is I had to ask the girl 4 times and then finally somebody said, check bag. And I said, okay. And the funnier thing about it is, you know who the biggest racial profiler is? And you won't believe it. It's the U.S. government. Any male, white, 35 to 45 years old, is known as a bombing suspect.
Okay. Thanks very much, Jim. I appreciate it. I think. Maria is in the car at WPRO. Hi, Maria.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
I just wanted to tell the commentator that this is like the 4th time I've really listened to his program, and I really think that he's kind of rude to his listeners.
Well, you're on the air, ma'am. You can tell me to my face.
Okay, you are very rude. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. 437-0630. Don't talk to me about rude, lady. Go hit the button on your radio. Real simple. There's other stations. Hit the button. I'm not interested in what you think about my rudeness, ma'am. I'm not interested. Okay? Thank you. We're talking about people's lives here. We are talking about America. We are talking about our rights. We are talking about our Constitution. We are talking about saving craziness from happening. Outlandish, outrageous, foolish acts that could cause somebody's life. And this woman wants me to be gentle. Go listen to Light 105, ma'am. You can dedicate a song to your husband and everything will be nice. Don't listen here. The world is at war, madam. Wake up. And unless we detour Americans from focusing their anger and their fear on innocent people, we are going to have more trouble than we know what to do with. So why don't you chip in and get a clue or take a hike? Dean is in the car on WPRO. Hi, Dean.
Hey, Dave, how are you this evening?
Aggravated.
I can certainly tell by your voice. Hey, a question for you. In regards to racial profiling, I just want to get your comment, thoughts, opinions on current profiling against African Americans.
Well, I think the whole thing is just hideously stupid. The whole thing, because it's un-American, number one. It defies our Constitution, number two. And right now you are seeing it in spades with this foolishness against Muslims or Arabs. It's ridiculous. It's dangerous. It harms everybody. And it frankly pisses on the Constitution. And a lot of people, too many people, died to protect us from this fear factor that goes on that has resulted in racial profiling.
Well, I would certainly agree that profiling, in regards to going against the Constitution, yes and no.
No, yes and no. No, yes and no. Come on, this is the problem with America. Never mind this yes and no. You know it's against the Constitution. You know it wasn't intended to be that way. These people are American citizens. They deserve the rights you have. And this thing about yes and no is ridiculous. You don't have to worry about it. You're a white man, aren't you?
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Of course. I rest my case, of course.
No, wait a minute. First of all, you're talking about a document that was written over 200 years ago.
Of course. I know. It wasn't any good, right? It wasn't any good. We should rewrite it, Dean.
I am not saying it should be rewritten.
Well, what's wrong with where it was written? You know what? The Bible was written a lot longer. Hey, Dean, the Bible was written a lot longer ago than that. You want to change that, too?
Well, then you get in the argument versus church versus state.
No. I'm just asking you about the Bible. Do you want to change the Bible? Because it's a lot older than the Constitution.
But do we write our government laws off of the Bible?
No, my point is that you're suggesting that the Constitution was written 200 years ago, and therefore it may or may not be faulty now. And my point to you is if that's the case, then we should throw the Bible out because it was written a lot further along. So if your premise is age, you just fell on it because you don't want to change the Bible.
Well, my premise isn't necessarily age.
But you brought it up, though. You brought it up, that it was 200 years old. You brought that up. So is the country 200 years old, young man.
That's very true. But to parallel the Bible and the Constitution, I think, are two totally different things.
Well, no, they're not. They're both writings. They are both aged writings, one more aged than the other. You suggested that the Constitution was 200 years old, and your next premise was, therefore what? Therefore what? What difference does it make how old it is?
Because it was written before we had problems like this.
Oh, so is the Bible.
True, but do we base our laws off the Bible?
No. I'm saying to you, do you believe in the Bible, Dean? Hey, Dean, do you believe in the Bible?
Yes, I do, but...
Well, wait a minute now. The Bible's older than the Constitution. You have more faith in the Bible than you do the Constitution.
Well, I wouldn't consider myself that much of a religious person.
So you don't really... So you're willing to change the Bible?
If I was basing... U.S. laws.
No, I'm not talking about U.S. laws. You started challenge. Listen, this is not about churches. Say you started challenging the Constitution because of its age.
True.
And I want to say to you that the Bible is older than the Constitution. Based on age, then, would you challenge the Bible? Because it's old.
No,
no.
I would not.
So the point is, it doesn't matter how old the Constitution is. Now let's continue.
Okay. Fair enough.
So your point is, go ahead.
I think in regards to profiling, I've been out of the country before, and I have been, grabbed by customs for, the way I look. I had a T-shirt on, a long ponytail, and I was coming into Mexico, and I had a backpack on. Mm-hmm. And I was pulled over by customs agents who said, "Where were you? What have you been doing?" This, that, and the other thing.
All right. So what's the point?
When they found out that I was a businessman on business, in Guadalajara.
And did you feel good about that?
Well,
what's your point? What is your point, Dean?
My point is profiling has been occurring for the last 20 to 30 years.
So
thanks. Continue to occur.
Okay.
And statistically, you cannot say that profiling does not work.
Okay, that was a big help, Dean. Thank you. Ann is in a car in WPRO. Hi, Ann.
Hi, it's Ann again.
Again? Did you already call?
No, I was the Italian married to the...
Oh, good. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to say, I want to try to make people understand because they don't get it. They're not... People got to understand, you can't profile people because if we profile people, we'll wind up killing everyone.
That's exactly right.
Okay?
It's ridiculous.
Like, in other words, when that what's his name did the bombing in Oklahoma.
McVeigh.
Should we kill all the Catholic Americans?
Well, I don't know if he was Catholic. Was he Catholic? He was white anyway. I mean, white, short-haired American. Yeah, right.
White American.
Sure. Let's.
I've been to Syria. Okay, that's where my husband's from. I've been there. I was there for 3 months.
Yeah.
And I don't cover. Okay, I'm just an American-Italian woman. I don't cover. These people accepted me as anybody else. They poured their hearts out to me.
Okay, honey, I don't want you to make a case for your husband's people because we don't need to in this country. The point is, your husband had nothing to do with this. Just because he's Arab American doesn't mean he should have to pay a price more than I do.
But the Arabs, the Islam, they don't believe in suicide either.
I know that, honey. I know that. And listen, I don't want you to defend it because we're defending against fear. So let's not do that, okay?
Right.
You've made a good point, and I thank you for your call.
Thank you.
But don't defend it, okay?
Okay.
All right, honey. Michael is in Johnson, WPRO. Hi, Michael.
Hi. I was listening in the car. I don't usually call talk shows.
Mm-hmm.
I actually asked God to help me get the words before I called you because I haven't heard a clear voice through this discussion over the airways in a long time. I certainly agree with you. One, I am an ex-military person.
Yeah.
I served this country in the United States Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I grew up in the 60s. I was young. I was in my preteen years and then into the teen years where Vietnam ended. Now, when I was a kid, I didn't say the Pledge of Allegiance. You know why? Because I knew I didn't have to if I didn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
In America, we have the right to disagree. Now, most of the training I had as a kid as a liberal growing up in New England and so forth, during the Vietnam War. I was indoctrinated in liberal sense. I was, a liberal American, a young hippie musician, artist.
Michael, I need for you to get to your point because I got a lot of people who want to get on. So what is your basic point?
My point is I am very glad, having gone the other route, away from my liberal upbringing and joined the military, I know that the American military will defend the rights of the people who don't believe as we do believe in this country, and just for the simple fact that they have the rights that they wouldn't have in another country.
All right. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. Steve is in the car, WPRO. Hi, Steve. Steve? Lost Steve, okay. Here's Colin in the car. Hi, Colin.
How you doing, Dave?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm a first-time caller, and I listen, and, I'm very upset, too, in a sense where, we take it out on so many people that, these young children, even though they come to this country, like the Arabs, there's no way in the world you can blame one person for, a crime with these sick people.
Right.
If we go to, we have these, I agree with you 100%. I understand the people, how they look at it, and they feel that, well, we were bombed by these people, that we turn around at the same time and say everybody's going to bomb us, and that's crazy.
Well, then we should be arresting everybody and making everybody register that looks like Timothy McVeigh. Let's start there.
I agree. That's crazy. And if you take security and you just start picking on a certain group, then what about the other people? Everybody has to look at go through security the same way, at the same threat.
Mm-hmm. It's all about fear. These people are frightened to death. For somebody to try to, they're frightened. They were frightened when they started talking about this political correctness and how fearful they were. This is exactly what they're talking about. And they don't know whether to go blind.
We know better than them. If we go ahead and hurt people that we don't even know if they're going to commit a crime or not by guessing it's because they're Arabs.
And not only that, here's the thing that's got me crazy, Colin. Here's the part that's got me nuts. These people who pulled this off, who did this to us, will have made great brownie points with themselves and with the people who support them when they see us turning against our own people.
Correct.
When they see us get sucker punched and bite the wrong hook. You see?
Yeah,
and we're already cutting down our freedoms. We want to take away freedoms from other Americans. We want to... It's just, and these people are laughing up their sleeve at us because we're running around, excuse me for the ethnic slur, like a Chinese fire drill.
No, you're right. I think right now, everybody in America, is afraid, and they say, so this won't happen again. Let's pick on a certain group.
Well, and not only that, let's do this, let's do that, let's make everybody wear armbands, let's get tattoos, let's do all of the things that they did in Nazi Germany. Let's do all of that. Let's make sure we have safety, and you can do it. And Orwell was right. It's all you're gonna see it happen, because we are letting this stuff frighten us into pooping in our pants.
Right.
All right, Colin. Hey, thank you for your call.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. 437-0630, 1-800-321-9776, star 630 in your singular wireless. There is no doubt in my mind that you will come up and go to websites and give me statistics and all that other stuff to justify your fear and your hatred. There is no doubt in my mind that you will come up with something that will justify your fear and your hatred. Except it won't justify it to me. You got a guy that wants to start, poor Dean. He wants to say, well, the Constitution was 200 years old. Hell, the Bible's older than that. The Quran is older than that. The Torah is older than that. Those writings, ancient writings, they didn't know there was going to be Cumberland Farms with Indian men minding their own business, getting Molotov cocktailed over something they had nothing to do with. That's not in there either. You know what I mean? Get a clue, please. Smarten up. And if the age of the writing is something you have a problem with, then you're going to have a real problem with scriptures. 437-0630, telephone number to call. Joe's in a car in WPRO. Hi, Joe. Joe?
Dave?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Dave, how you doing?
Good.
One thing that I want to say, and I'm listening to your show. I've never listened to it before, actually. And it's interesting you're making comparisons between the Constitution and the Bible. And I'm not a religious person at all, but I think one of the things you have to really distinguish between is the Constitution is written by man, and
so is the Bible. So is the Bible, sir.
Well, supposedly though.
Well, supposedly, I don't care about supposedly. This wasn't about the validity of the Bible. Maybe you tuned in late. What happened was one of my callers suggested that the Constitution. I referred to the Constitution. He said, "Well, that's 200 years old. Like somehow that makes it worse." And my point was, well, the Bible's older than that. Are you going to challenge the Bible based on age? That was the argument.
It's an invalid argument, though. I mean, if you believe.
Well, of course it's an invalid argument. It doesn't matter how old the writing is. It's either right or wrong.
No, if you believe in the Bible.
Well, yeah, but I don't need to believe in the Bible. I don't need to believe in the Bible to say that if it's older than the Constitution, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's Hammurabi's Code.
Thank you. Tim is on a cell phone, WPRO. Hi, Tim.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
I just wanted to let you know that you are rude.
Good, thank you. Let me see. Rick is on a car on WPRO. Hi, Rick.
Yeah, hi, Dave.
Hi.
Boy, this is an awful thing.
Got to speak up for me, Rick.
This is just an awful thing that's going through in this country right now. I think that the fear has engulfed everyone in the fear of the unknown.
Absolutely.
In the need for action and revenge. It is rooting our soul.
And this is how these people have won, you see. This is how these people win. They get us running around with our heads in our hands, screaming that the sky is falling, and it was in New York on Tuesday. And and all of a sudden we want to get anybody just to save our ass. That's all we get. We don't care what they look. If they look like that, then we're going to go. And they can't see how frightened they are.
Well, they build on the fear, and the fear is what's going to be our damnation.
You are absolutely correct.
If we cannot get through it, we will strike out in revenge. I think the people on the racial profiling is hideous and horrendous, and
un-American, by the way.
It's a reaction to fear. It is a reaction to get revenge. It's rooted in our soul. We believe that justice is in revenge.
Okay, I got to hold you. I'm running up against news, Rick. Thank you for your call. Leslie's in Smithfield. Leslie, quickly.
Hi, Dave.
Hi.
A couple things. In '95, when the Oklahoma City bombing took place, I was down in Dallas, and a woman that I met down there while I was taking a course, we were talking the night of the bombing, and we just got talking about religion, and I asked her, well, what religion are you? And we were in a mall. She said very quietly, almost inaudibly, I'm Muslim. She was, at that point, they were still saying that Muslims might have done it.
Right.
She was afraid
of
that
course.
somebody was going to jump with her.
Of course, American citizens who happen to be a certain ethnic background or a certain religion are going to be afraid now, and that's a wonderful thing to say about America.
And then the other thing I was thinking of was Rod Serling's Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
You remember the monsters that do on Maple Street?
Oh, yes.
You turn people against each other.
Right.
The bad guys will win.
Okay, thank you. Mike is in the car in WPRO. Mike.
Yeah, how you doing?
How you doing?
This guy with the Constitution thing, I just want to tell him that the Constitution was written by Americans. So no matter what color they are, what background they are, they're still Americans, these people.
Yeah.
I mean, he's talking about the different religions.
Well, no, he was talking about it being 200 years old, like somehow that takes away from it. I think that's the greatness of it, is that it's 200 years old and still stands strong.
It's still American, right?
Yeah.
It still covers everybody who's American.
That's right. Thank you, sir.
That's what I want to say.
Thank you. 437-0630, 1-800-321-9776, star 630 on your singular wireless. Lisa, I have 1 minute. What do you got?
Hi.
Hi.
Is this Dave?
Yes.
Oh, hi. I just wanted to talk about make a few points.
Okay, well, I only got a minute. Can you hang on?
Yeah.
All right, I'll put you on hold, and we'll get to you right after the news, okay? So you can go get a cup of coffee or something. As for you, you can call at 437-0630, 1-800-321-9776, star 630 on your singular wireless. We'll take calls after the news. It's a rough night tonight because I am frankly fed up with the fear that you are experiencing and showing in so many ways, and you are attacking the wrong people. The people that bombed the towers are laughing up their sleeve at you tonight because of the fear that you have displayed that is going to end up hurting us all.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of gray.
Kane and Company. Company is adult in nature and is not suitable for all audiences. The content of this program is one that a truly free society would not attempt to censure or suppress.
Tonight on WPRO, we are discussing Americans who are afraid, American citizens who are quaking tonight in their homes, in their cars, in fear. Oh, not because of what happened on Tuesday. They fear other American citizens. They are fearing right now those American citizens who are afraid of what has happened, who want to blame others who look like them. American citizens afraid of other Americans. Shame on you. Lisa's in Bristol on WPRO. Hi, Lisa. We're back.
Hi. I just wanted to make a few points. I agree with you entirely. We can't look at all Arab Americans and you know.
Or all anybody. You know, the people that bombed the World Trade Center, they are quoted as saying all Americans must die. All Americans are infidels. They all must
we're
die.
doing the same thing.
Of course we are.
Same level.
Of course we are.
But you know, in a sense, though, it's a bit understandable. We just have to step back and take a deep breath and say, you know, let's remain calm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you were mugged by a gang of teenage boys, I think the next time you saw a gang of teenage boys, whether it's the same gang or not, you might, you know, take a step back.
Does that make logical sense? It's emotional.
But, you know,
it's emotional.
But again, you
it's
cannot
not logical.
act on that. You have to just stay calm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you, Lisa.
Thanks.
Thanks for waiting. 437-0630, 1-800-321-9776, star 630 on your singular wireless. So you're afraid tonight because of what happened on Tuesday and what might happen to you. And the people whom you are frightening now are afraid not only of that, but of you too. Is that all right with you in America? Bruce is in a car in WPRO. Hi, Bruce.
Hi, Dave. How you doing?
Good.
Dave, I think we should all pull together as Americans, and there shouldn't be racial profiling. And if we're going to win this war, we got to do it as one people.
Yes.
So there are good Arabs here, and they're law-abiding citizens. So, you know, and I don't want to give up any rights. So I want to keep our constitutional rights. And as you said, as in Nazi Germany, at times of crisis, it seems like the government becomes your big brother, uncle, and they...
Yeah, of course. And we find ourselves in such trauma over this, we don't realize.
Right. Now, just to be facetious here.
Yes.
I'm just going to put this out. What's the object of a terrorist, Dave? What's his mission in life?
To put terror into our hearts.
That's correct.
Have they succeeded or not?
Now, just on the other side of the coin, what does an Arab cherish most? What's the most sacred thing for an Arab?
I have no idea. I don't know all Arabs.
I was in the Peace Corps, and I spent 4 years overseas.
Okay.
Arab religion.
Yeah.
The city from which Muhammad ascended into heaven, body and soul and spirit.
Yes.
Okay? Because he was such a holy man. He's their prophet. Allah is their God.
Yeah.
Muhammad is their prophet.
Yeah.
They would go, screw it. If you want to put terror in the hearts of a Muslim, you bomb the holy city of Mecca.
Yeah, but you can't be doing that. Yeah, but you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that because, you know, because that would be punishing again, people who had nothing to do with this.
That's true, Dave. I'm just trying to...
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I know you are, Bruce. Thank you very much for your call today.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. George is in the car in WPRO. Hi, George.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good.
I'm Lebanese.
Yes, sir.
And I'm a Christian Lebanese.
Oh, geez, you really got problems, huh?
That's right. I am a 12-year citizen of this beautiful country.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, for the last few days, I don't think anybody's been sadder than me or my wife or my kids. And my wife is an American.
Yes.
And I own a few businesses. And, I mean, I could give you off the air.
No, it's not important. Go ahead. That's all right.
And we had an incident in my business yesterday, and we had reported it, and now they're looking for the people.
Yeah.
It is sad. It's absolutely sad to think that these people who are trying to go to these businesses owned by Arab, as this guy before me on the phone, or owned by somebody who looks different, and without even taking a notice who you're trying to attack, to see what we've done to this country and how much good this country done to us.
And
this country has been good to us, and we've been good to this country. We have not. I've been here for 16 years, and I am very, very. My shirt I'm wearing right now is an American flag, and I'm very damn proud to wear it. But I am sick of this crap that I hear from these people.
It's horrible, George. I don't know what to say to you. I'm trying my best to get some sense into these people.
You know what the issue we had yesterday in one of my locations is I couldn't even stop this guy to shut up. The three guys were in the vehicle to shut up enough to explain to them, you taking it on the wrong people over here. This is not what I stand for. This is not what I believe in. This is not what I wanted to happen in this country, actually, in any other country.
Yes.
What happened to innocent people does not justify it. I don't care who does it. I don't care what side does it. I don't care what happened in New York is despicable, it's unacceptable, and it's sad that we are turning no less of what has been done to us. We're doing it to other people.
Absolutely, George.
Outside the country.
You are absolutely correct, George.
We're doing it in this country, which is sad.
It is horrible, and I apologize to you, George. I wish.
Have to apologize. I apologize to myself too because you don't have to apologize. Hopefully, we will wake up in the next couple of weeks and things will calm down and things will start thinking the way we Americans supposed to think. The reason I came to this country and left my country to come over here and live in peace, without fear, without putting up with crap. That's why I came here, and I don't need to put up with it here.
I'm glad you called, George, and God bless America, George.
Thank you. Well, you bet. United we stand, as I said.
There you go, buddy. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now. 437-0630, 1-800-321-9776, star 630 on your singular wireless. What do you think? You think George is a terrorist? Think George is a terrorist? Here's Sam in a car in WPRO. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Dave. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
I have a question for you today. Can I call you English? Just because you speak English.
Can you call me English? That's right, Dad. Call me English.
Those half-educated people, they have to understand the Arabs are different nations, are different nationalities, are different countries, different rulers.
Explain that a little bit to us, Sam.
Well, you have Egyptians, you have Lebanese, you have Syrian, you have Kuwaitis, you have Bahrainis, you have Saudi Arabia, and all these are Arabs.
Yes.
And where Osama bin Laden is now, he's in Afghanistan, which is not an Arabic country.
Mm-hmm.
They don't speak Arabic. They don't belong to the Arabic country. Osama bin Laden himself, he'd been stripped of his Arabic nationality or the Saudi nationality.
Yes.
Now, if I get into an accident now and I go to the emergency room and I have to be operated on.
Sam, do me a favor. Talk a little slower, please. You're doing fine, but I want people to understand what you're saying. So just talk a little slower.
Okay. If I do get an accident and I go to the emergency room and I'm laying down with all my guts laying on the table, would I ask the doctor, are you Jewish? Are you white American? Are you black? Or I'll tell him, please hold me.
That's right. That's right. You know, it's funny you say that because when Ronald Reagan was shot, he allegedly said, I hope you're all Republicans. In the emergency room. You know, he allegedly made that joke. You're absolutely right. You know, brothers under the skin, as the expression goes, right?
Exactly.
I just wish we're showing that America is not so courageous. We are showing that we are really frightened to death.
That's the sad thing. You just put yourself in an Arabic inherited or an surgeon. He's doing a heart surgery for a patient.
Yeah.
Would he think that his wife is getting harassed in the street now, or his kid is getting beaten up in a school?
Yeah.
Or become a professional and take care of business?
Your point is very well taken, Sam. I'm glad you called me again, and call me on the weekend sometime, will you?
Will do.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
437-0630, 1-800-321-9776. Josh is in a car in WPRO. Hi, Josh.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Just want to say thank you. Thank you for being a voice of reason.
Well, I'm pretty unreasonable, but I'll do my best.
Well, in this case, you are one of the few reasonable people that we've heard on a public forum, and I thank God. And what you were just saying, brothers under the skin. You could be Muslim, Jewish, Christian, Catholic, pagan.
Yes.
We're all humans, and right now we're all Americans. We're all hurting. But we're gonna get through it together, and we're gonna get through it together with a level head. And if we lose that and we start striking at ourselves, we're not going to get through it.
They've already won if that happens, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
437-0630. They've already won. If you've been thinking about closing our borders, giving up liberties and just taking orders, if you really believe that the end has begun, then don't bother to stand. They've already won. If you've been talking about waiving your rights because of what happened to those American flights, if your heart's overpowered and your feelings outdone, don't bother to fight. They've already won. If you limit your movement, give up seeing games for fear the arena will burst into flames. If you cancel events and stop having fun, no need to retaliate. They've already won. If you find yourself fearful and mistrust certain men simply because they look just like them, if this is your sole justification to shun, don't bother to enlist. They've already won. But if you've decided they can't change your life, no matter the horror, no matter the strife, if you are determined to keep your world whole and show any enemy you're still in control, then we can vow to every American as we lay them in their grave that they will rest in peace forever in the land of the free and the home of the brave. Stop and think about it. Smarten up. Stop being so damn afraid. Focus your anger. Focus your fear. And treat Americans like Americans. Gus is in the car in WPRO. Hi, Gus.
Hey, Mr. Kane?
Yes, sir.
Just a little change of the subject, if I can. This is a nice show tonight.
Thank you.
Every night, if there's no baseball on, we listen to, I guess, this national broadcaster.
Yeah.
And man, I'm telling you, all they do is play repeats.
Well, I'll tell him to get on it, okay, Gus?
This guy Gallagher.
All right.
He played to the last hour and then just repeat.
All right, buddy. I'll make sure I talk to the boss.
Local.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. Hamo is in Providence. Hamo.
What are you doing, Dave? You're doing a good job, man. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed.
Boy, this must be a mistake.
There is a story in our culture. There was a father was dying. He has 3 children.
Yeah.
And he brought him, before he died, he gave him a small sticks to break in. And say everybody broke the stick. Then he gave them a pack of a stick wrapped up in a paper, like a...
Yeah.
And he said, break this. None of them could break it. He says to them, when I die and you guys alone, don't separate yourselves because the enemy will break you as you broke every stick separately.
Oh, what a great story.
So now we are getting broken.
Yes.
And we're supposed to be United States.
Yes. United. United is the word, right, Hamo?
Exactly. And many people called today. They inspired me, honestly. I usually get busy. I can't call, but inspired me to call you to say, we were united until the enemy came in and permeated in us to become broken.
Well, in this country, we've had a phrase, divide and conquer when you want to take over a battle. You divide and you conquer. You get people fighting with each other. You get them distracted. It's like, you throw a fake punch and they duck one punch and you hit them with the other.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on now. We've got Americans so afraid. Right.
You said earlier, too, that they won.
They've already won. That's it. It's over. They won. Unless we pull it back and smarten up, they've won.
And I want you honestly to say, I'm not going to teach you, but I want you to keep doing this because these people who call you like I'm not going to disgrace them, half-brained, I swear to God, they have no idea what they're talking about. Sometimes they look like a robot.
Well, we're even because I don't know what they're talking about either. All right, buddy, I'll see you later. Huh?
Talk to you, buddy.
Bye-bye. Here's Vinny in a car, WPRO. Hi, Vinny.
How you doing?
Yes, sir.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Why is it that, now I'll tell you straight out that I didn't vote for George Bush.
Yeah.
But why is it that when the President of the United States gets up in front of the country and he asks us to be careful how we treat these Arabs and these Muslims, and why can't we do that as Americans? I don't understand. When the President of the United States gets up there, why insists to do something? Why?
Well, Vinny, because we're frightened to death, Vinny. This is like, somebody called and said, well, the the airline attendant should have stopped it in the airline. You know, fear is a wonderful emotion, isn't it? It'll stop you dead. It'll stop you dead. And it's okay for me to tell you, Vinny, don't be afraid of that dog, right?
Right.
But if you've been bitten before, or if you think you've been bitten by the dog, we can't overcome our fear, and that's the problem. FDR said it best. We only have fear. The only thing we can fear is fear itself.
It's absolutely true.
And it's killing us, Vinny. It's killing us.
I just can't believe how the president asked us to react and how it was ignored by many people in this nation. And
yeah. Well, you know, you'll see it, Vinny. You'll see it if you're in a building tomorrow, especially after what's happened, and a fire breaks out or the fire alarm goes off, see how the fear hits people as they climb over your body to get out that door. All right, buddy. Thanks for your call.
Yeah.
Bob is in Pawtucket on WPRO. Hi, Bob.
Yeah, hi, Dave.
Hey.
I'm an Irishman from Pawtucket.
I'm sorry to hear that. Speak up a little bit, will you?
I know. I can overcome it, though.
Okay.
And I was raised in a neighborhood where there were Syrians and Armenians, and I didn't know there were Arabs. There were just guys that we grew up with, guys we fought with, we made friends with, some we liked, some we didn't, and we made our decisions based on, our own personal working it out.
Of course.
And I went to high school, and I wound up in the Navy. Spent 4 years for my country and met guys, in the service with the same thing. Some you liked, some you didn't. Nationality meant nothing at all in that case. And I have hope. I'm a profound optimist because I've had business in New York for the last 3 or 4 months, and I go down on Sunday morning. And I've been out, this last Sunday, I went out on the streets of New York.
Yes.
And before that, you went out on the street for some, you look over your shoulder. This Sunday, I was down in the afternoon. I was talking to them, just total strangers, people out of town, New Yorkers.
Yeah.
The whole situation. Somebody once said that you meant it for evil, but God can turn it around for good. And I see people changing just from my past 4 months in New York.
Yes.
And and I agree with you that we've got to get rid of, but it is fear. So when people fear, they do crazy things. And you can't fear, and I'm a Christian, and my responsibility as a Christian is to treat, people who are non-Christians as Jesus would treat them.
Yes, exactly.
And then let the cards fall where they may from that point on. But it's just fear that keeps people. I'm an old guy. I'm pushing 70.
Wow.
And I'm looking to 100. Maybe when I hit 100 or so, I'll start to get it together. But overall, this is probably the best thing that ever happened to America, if you can understand what I'm saying. Like Pearl Harbor, as horrible as it was, it unified the country.
Yes.
And the same token, this can do the very same thing for us.
Yes.
So, and as you said many times, God bless America.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for your call.
Okay, Dave.
437-0630, 1-800-321-9776, star 630 on your singular wireless. I want you to know that this is a very important topic tonight. There are many, many people, some of which you've already heard calling, who are living two nightmares. The one you and I are sharing, and in addition to that, the one they are going through with this frightened reaction, this wrong, horrendous, bad reaction. Your president has asked you to stop. Think about it. Take a deep breath. And then you tell me what you should be doing. Keith is in the car in WPRO. Hi, Keith.
How are you tonight?
Good.
Very good show.
Thank you.
Good topic. And I agree with everything that people have been saying, and I feel bad for the people that are being victimized by their own countrymen.
Yes.
The only thing I think, maybe could happen is if the religious leaders of the Muslim and Islam faith would step up to the plate more to...
Well, they've done that, though. They've done that. And you know what? Let me ask you a question, just to make this point with you, Keith. Are you a Catholic?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Have you apologized for the Inquisitions yet?
Myself personally?
Yes.
No.
Well, wait a minute. Now, why not? Have you apologized for the Crusades?
Wasn't alive then.
Oh. But so you had nothing to do with them, right?
No, I'm not disagreeing with you.
No, I know you're not, but I'm just trying to point out, for people to I mean, they have been in the presence. They had a Muslim leader on the Today Show this morning who made the trip to Washington to appear at the cathedral, and he was harassed on the way.
Yeah, that's not right. I just think in the past, though, over the past 30 years, we've had a lot of terrorist activity, Americans abroad and here. And we never heard, we very seldom did we hear them speak out.
Well, because well, that's not true.
Have been the terrorists.
But that's not true. That's not true that you haven't heard them speak out. They have all spoken out. There's been interfaith, councils from the beginning of time. But the problem is, you start to, I think what happens is you start to, in the minds of these people who are so afraid, you start to look like you're one of them if you defend them. A lot of times when you apologize, you appear as if you are defending, or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You kind of, I don't want to be anywhere near that. I want to walk away. I'm not going to deal with that. I mean, if that were me, I wouldn't be apologizing. I would say it's an awful thing.
Well, I mean, it's condemnation. Like the Pope comes out and condemns a lot of acts all the time.
They have, though. They have. Maybe you haven't caught it, Keith, but they have.
Well, I think. I've seen a lot of that lately with this especially in the.
But let me ask you this, Keith. Let me ask you this: the people that, not you and not me, thank God, but the people who are perpetrating this anger and this hatred against these people, okay?
Right.
Do you think they're going to believe somebody that looks like them that says they're not in favor of it? They're going to look and they're going to say, yeah, like I'm going to believe you, right? I mean, we're hearing it now. They don't trust Pakistan.
I think the image, the reputation, though, has been tainted, and I think that needs to be changed. I think there needs to be more understanding of that religion because maybe a lot of people, Americans, don't understand the religion.
Well, you're right, but somebody has to open their eyes and open their hearts to be educated, right?
You're right, and we're going to be just like them if we turn on ourselves.
You're absolutely correct, Keith.
And we do that stuff. I agree with you 100%. I just think there's a reputation that needs to be changed, maybe ignorance on a lot of Americans' part for that religion, and so on and so forth.
All right, thanks for your call, Keith.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now. 437-0630, telephone number to call, you and me on the radio, until 10 o'clock tonight. And crown thy good with brotherhood. Sea to shiny sea.
You're listening to Dave Kane on WPRO. 437-0630, 1-800-321-WPRO, and star 630 on the singular wireless system.
You and me on the radio until 10 o'clock tonight, a special edition of Kane and Company on WPRO, talking about your fears, talking about how frightened you are. So frightened that you're ready to run and attack and hurt and point fingers and whisper and yell and hide from citizens of this country or legal aliens in this country who have been law-abiding and worked hard, bothered no one. Their only crime? They were unlucky enough to share the ethnic background or the religion of someone who has broken a law, someone who has caused tremendous devastation to our country. It's kind of like being the same ethnic and religious background as, say, Timothy McVeigh, maybe. Mike is in Warwick on WPRO. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Yes, sir.
Kind of frightening listening to some of your calls tonight.
Isn't it frightening?
You know what it reminds me of is there's I don't know if you're a Twilight Zone fan, but there's a Twilight Zone episode where there's a small town, mid-America, and some wacky things happen. They see a shooting star, and the electricity goes off, and the clock stops in the middle of the town.
Oh, yeah. I think Leslie was just mentioning it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and they turn on each other.
Yeah.
They turn into an ugly mob.
Yeah.
And fear basically rules the day.
Of course.
And they just tear each other apart. And, it was real creepy with Rod Steiger.
Yeah, well, Roosevelt said it right. We only have to fear as fear itself. I mean, you have all of this stuff going on And the people who want us injured are just laughing up their robes because they're looking at us pick on each other, frighten each other, and while I'm looking at you, I can't fight who's behind me, can I, Mike?
Absolutely not.
And so they've misdirected us, and they're using it for their own good.
I'm sorry to say this, but I'll be honest with you. I really don't. I think this kind of exasperates it, but I really believe that there's hatred in a lot of even Americans' hearts, and this has really just pinched the nerve of people that really would direct their anger at. It happens to be Arabs at this point.
Yeah, well, of course. Of course.
If they weren't hating the Arabs right now, they would hate. They hated Bill Clinton for 10 years, and then they would hate the liberals, and they would hate.
Well, now here's interesting. You're talking about hating the liberals and hating these other people. Let me ask you this question: if they instate a draft, what are we going to do about the gay guys that want to go fight?
Oh, well, we're going to hate them too.
Yeah, but are we going to take them in?
Listen to what Mr. Falwell.
Are we going to take them in? What are we going to do? Right?
Oh, my word.
You're going to have more guys kissing the recruiter on the mouth. Isn't that right?
Quick way to get...
See you later, buddy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, absolutely outrageous. Oh. I mean, you see how this is going to come back to bite them on the ass? They're going to need more people. They're going to need people they can trust. They're going to need people who can fight and who are determined and who know computers, who know all of these talents, and they're going to have a whole cadre of them that they won't take into the service.
It's amazing, isn't it?
See how it comes to bite you on the ass? Peekaboo. We'll see how it goes, huh, Mike?
You certainly will.
Thank you, buddy.
Bye-bye.
437-0630, telephone number to call. Laura is in Dartmouth on WPRO. Hi, Laura.
Hi, David.
How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm listening very closely. And
yes.
I'm enjoying it.
Good.
Yeah. But
good.
I always think of what the Lord says. What you do to my children, you do to me.
That's it. What you do to the least of these, you do to me. That's exactly right.
Exactly.
And, it's really interesting to me that people don't see it. But their vision is so clouded.
Frightened.
Well, of course they are. This is all about fear.
That's all it is.
My mother used to say to me that shock is a wonderful thing. You'll see people, and I know you saw it in New York, you'll see people who have been hit with, pieces of cement. Oh. I mean, they're bleeding, and they're walking because they're in shock. They don't know enough to lay down.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what has happened to us emotionally.
Yeah.
We are in shock.
Yeah.
And we are doing things knee-jerk. We have no idea what we're doing.
I know it.
And it's really going to hurt us.
It's really sad.
The people who want us hurt are going to be roaring at us watching this go on.
Yeah, but see, I don't have time to think about anybody like that. I think of all the families of these people. I've cried so much, I'm telling you, I can't believe it.
Well, we're going to play something special for them before the end of the night.
Oh, I hope so.
All right, honey.
All right.
I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Connie is in the car in WPRO. Hi, Connie.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
How you doing? I just started to listen, and I guess I have a lot of things to share. One of them being that I'm a little bit afraid. I mean, I'm not originally from the United States, and I'm not Arab, but I look it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of. A lot of people think I do look Arab.
You don't use NADS, do you? Do you use that NADS stuff?
What do you mean?
NADS? Oh, that Arab mother and daughter who sell that hair removal wax in NADS. Okay, so go ahead. Where are you from?
From South America originally.
Okay, go ahead.
And I mean, what I find is there's a lot of prejudice in the United States.
Oh, of course.
And it just comes about when bad things happen, when people fear, and it's just all about fear. Mm-hmm. When you don't know the other person, and you don't know what they're like or where the culture is like, immediately you fear it because you don't know it. And I just find that this is really sad because I just find the prejudice is everywhere here. And I find that there's an askew view of what an American is. I feel that the country itself needs to realize that it's a changing America. It has different colors. It has different shades. It's not as simple as it used to be, maybe.
And the foolishness of this, Connie, is that this is exactly what made our country what it is. You're from South America. When my parents were my grandparents in this country, the sign said Irish and dogs need not apply.
Exactly.
I mean, And it was these people that made this country what it is, and nobody gets it.
Exactly. It's sad because about a month ago I was thinking, I'm going to go buy an American flag, and maybe I'll go buy the flag also, maybe in a smaller size of where I'm originally from.
Yeah.
And I stopped myself because I feel that I will get judged in my neighborhood. I feel that I may be looked at differently. Because like I said to my husband, which he is from the United States, I said, I feel that a lot of minorities here have not had the time to prove themselves in a way. I feel like the Irish went through all those stages of proving themselves.
Yes. Well, it's too bad that we have to prove ourselves. You know, whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty? Whatever happened to worthwhile until you prove you're not?
It's
not here, huh?
Fantasy. No, it's a fantasy.
Nope.
Reality really does, like you say, bite you in the butt.
That's for sure. All right, thank you, Connie, for calling, and I'm glad you're here, Connie.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm glad to hear people like you, too. And I think I'm first Christian, and I first believe in my spirituality and my beliefs and my values before anything, and I'll die till death with that.
All right, honey. Thank you very much. 437-0630. 437-0630, 1-800-321-WPRO. And we're talking to you about anything that's on your mind, mostly, of course, what's happened in this country over the last... It's going to be 7 days tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the 1-week anniversary of what happened. Can you imagine how fast? The longest, shortest week in the world. Joe is in a car on WPRO. Hi, Joe.
How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Just wondering how much we should trust these neighboring countries of Afghanistan that are going to let us use their airspace. I mean, who's to say that this won't be a trap? You know, have them turn on us like, I mean, we have enemies all over the world, Pakistan.
Well, we need to remember one thing in thinking about that, Joe, and that is that America is not standing alone on this thing. What has happened is because they were able to pull something like this off on America, the rest of the countries are really in fear. I'm not talking about the people you just listed. I'm talking about, the Russians and the Germans and the English and the French and those people. Even in the Netherlands, they were out with American flags the other day, and they tried. They're not great American fans,
Yeah.
And it's like I analogized it on the weekend about a bully in class, and you see, when you got a bully who's picking on the biggest guy in the class and he wins, you realize you better support everybody or else you're all going. And so I think we have less to be concerned about yet for that.
Yeah.
Because it's not just us. If it were just us, I'd agree. But we're getting some severe. We're going to use all of our financial power. We're going to use all of our rough to say, look, you're either for us or against us, as the president has said. There's no mid-ground here. So it won't just be us. If it were just us, I would concur with you.
Have you heard anything about Iraq?
No, except that I listened to Beeman today, and he spoke about how the real culprits here should be to get out of there, of course, is bin Laden and Gaddafi.
Yeah, because I know Iran isn't siding with us, so...
Well, no, but they actually, there is some talk that they have offered some assistance.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now, like you say, whether you can trust it or not, whatever.
Right.
However, any port in a storm. You got the Russians. I mean, the Russians, of course, in Afghanistan, and we had bin Laden on our payroll to fight against the Russians, and now the Russians are on our side against bin Laden, and hello, peekaboo,
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's like New England weather. Give it a second, it'll change.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, but just keep a good thought and keep your chin up.
God bless us.
God bless us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, 437-0630, 1-800-321-9776, star 630 in your singular wireless. The fear is palpable. You can actually feel it with your fingers. You can actually smell it. You can taste it. You can stand near people and feel feel, it's almost like a tremor. You can feel it come off their body. You can actually feel it. It's very fearful. Many people are so frightened. But you can feel it. What we need to do is control it. We need to understand how we're going to fix it. And we need to focus it properly. Remember, when we start running around like we're like chickens with our heads off, or like running around like Chicken Little, the sky is falling, the people who want us damaged will really enjoy this, watching us beat each other up. John is in the car in WPRO. Hi, John.
Hi, John. This is Richard.
I'm Dave. You're John.
Hi, David. This is Richard.
Oh, Richard. Okay, go ahead. You're on the air, sir.
Okay, I want to tell you something about the Middle East. I don't know if you know about it. We're born over there. I born in that neighborhood. And we're glad we are at that neighborhood, because really not even one Muslim like any Christian. Believe me, I say, because we know what's going on,
Yeah.
And it's like, to do that to us over here, we left that neighborhood just to be peace. And we come over here, and now we have this problem with these people, These people don't like us. It's got to be a big problem. I know that's coming.
Well, it may not be. If we can get a hold of ourselves, Richard, and just think a little bit before we start going nuts here, I think we can avoid this. The president has made his efforts to try to get people to think about it a second and back up. And I'm doing the best I can, Richard, but, you just got to try to hang on.
Yeah, it's very terrible. It's very terrible. We can't. How are we going to hold up with all these people dying, all this misery happening, because one stupid people,
Yes, I know.
And the Muslim people is worrying. That people should think about that before they go and kill people or do something about it.
Yep.
It's really, I told you, we're born over there, we left over there because we don't want to have any problem. We come to this country, these people coming after us over here now.
Yeah, I know. You leave there because you don't want, right?
I'll be honest with you, I don't care what that people, what are we going to do for them. I wish we can bomb all of them, because that people killed a lot of people before.
Yeah.
And so go back thousand years back,
Oh, sure.
So that people did what they did to Christians,
Yeah, absolutely.
Now coming after us.
Yeah.
People say, because Muslims are a lot of nice people, but I don't see one Muslim guy nice people yet. I never see it yet. I never met him yet. And if you take all this government we have back in the Middle East, whatever Egypt, whatever, all these people with us, just the government's with us. But if you ask the real public, all these Muslim people, not even one guy will love a Christian. See what happened to Sudan.
Well, I know, but that's like you said, that's this ancient history. But you gotta realize that these guys that did this are not real Muslims, Richard.
No, what is it then?
Well, they claim Muslims, but then they claim to be Muslim, but they're not. First of all, the Muslim religion does not allow for suicide, number one, and it does not allow for the kind of carnage that was happening here. These guys were half in the bag, we are told. We are told now, we are able to figure out that these guys were half in the bag. Muslims are not to drink. So, these were not real Muslims. These were phony Muslims. And there's a big difference, Rich. I got to hold you, but I thank you for your call, sir.
Thanks.
All right, bye-bye. I know. I heard it. I know. 437-0630, 1-800-321-WPRO. You and me on the radio until 10 o'clock tonight, special edition. Tomorrow night, Red Sox baseball back on the air. In the meantime, Matt is in the car, WPRO. Hi, Matt.
Yeah, I was just calling. I was listening to your program, and you were mentioning that these guys who did this bombing weren't real Muslims, and you had mentioned a couple of different things.
Yeah.
The suicide thing and also the influence. I don't know if there was any further talk about it, but I had heard on the news, too, that a couple of these guys who were involved also were at strip joints the night before the bomb.
Yeah, and a couple of them, one of them, I guess, was living out of wedlock, with a woman, etc. So this thing about, being Muslims, you know what I mean? That's like, I don't know. It's like being a Christian who blows up an abortion clinic, isn't it? I mean, it's like...
Yeah. It's a bit of a contradiction.
Of course it is.
It's supposed to be living for, and then the example that they set,
Exactly, and this is why it is additionally unfair when you take... it's like when these organizations take credit for doing something, or somebody will call up and say, the Irish Liberation Army did this, and then you find out they had nothing to do with it. Somebody just calling up and saying it was them,
Right.
It's just, it's hideous. And I can't get over it.
I agree.
And it's so sad. But, we're finding out that we're not made of what we say we're made of. If we were really Americans, if we were really what we, the John Wayne types, if we, we would never be jumping ugly with somebody that runs a Cumberland Farms.
Right.
How stupid we look.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm waiting for somebody to smarten up. God, I know it won't be me, but thanks, Matt.
All right, thanks a lot.
Bye-bye. 437-0630. 1-800-321-9776. Star 630 on your singular wireless. I had decided that we weren't going to have some great, rah-rah session tonight because there are too many Americans acting like absolute fools and acting like candidates for the same training that we have seen happen with the people who took down these buildings. There's something else I want to talk to you about, too. Something I'd like to mention to you. We are hearing about all of this devastation, and we are hearing about body parts, and we are hearing about the humanity and for what it's worth to you. For what it's worth to you. I can promise you that the people who were on those planes, that the people who were in those buildings, I swear to you on my mother's heart that I do not believe they ever knew what hit them. When the moment came, when the time came, I am almost positive that not one of them felt a pain. I say this to you because many years ago I was in a very severe car accident. And there was one other incident in my life too, but this car accident that I had, I was severely injured. Knocking on heaven's door for a few minutes. And I have no recollection of it. I have no knowledge of it. I never knew it happened except to wake up after it and to be told what happened. I think what happens in your mind and in your heart and with your body, I think your mind, your brain sees what is about to happen. I think your mind's eye knows that this is not going to be good. And the lights go out. You've seen it happen a million times with relatives and friends. They get a severe shock. They hear about the death of someone. They're wrapped on the head. They lose a finger in an accident. And there is something that protects them, something that makes it so that they can get through it. If this gives you any solace at all, I tell you, in my own belief, that these people did not suffer. That it was over, and that they were in the arms of God in a nanosecond. Without pain, without sorrow, without turmoil, without trouble. Gone. Do not get yourself overly acerbated by the remnants of this travesty, this horror. When you hear stories, as I was hearing on the network tonight, about You know, guys taking off in vehicles to get away from the scene and driving over body parts. And when you go to graves to visit your loved ones, when you hear about this, they are not there. Surely you know this. If you have any faith at all, if you believe in any life hereafter, if you believe in any deity, you must know that these people were done with their bodies. When you go to a grave, you visit to remind yourself of the personage, of the contribution they made, but you, yourself, know that they are not in that grave. Their hearts were free and their souls flew. Having said that, I know that there were so many people who lost so many. Mothers, grandmothers, women, daughters, husbands, and children. In closing tonight, I would like to play something special for all of those who lost someone, understanding that they are where you believed them to be, safe in the arms of the Lord. Remember, in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make. Thanks to Magic Wand tonight, and thanks to you. See you Saturday, WPRO Providence.
News Talk Radio 630 WPRO.